to describe pointe shoes and that you use as a fitter. I'd like to talk about some of those.
Okay.
I have my shoe here that I ordered from Freed's. Let's start here.
Okay, great. Now this is the first thing everybody does is they turn over the shoe, and the outer sole actually gives us a lot of information. On the Freed shoe, all the different models are different, but generally speaking, the soles will give you the size, the width, and in the Freed Classic, the cobbler as well. Now we have your name here on there, and all the ballerina, which is our trademark logo. And on the inside is the insole. Underneath that is the cardboard that gives it the support, very much like a person's spine that holds the shoe up and holds the dancer up. And this could be various materials, but the red board is the most common that we use in our stock shoes. And the other thing that's very important to a dancer is the platform of the shoe, because this very small area is what the dancer is standing on pointe, and you have to balance your entire body weight on it.
Try to balance.
Yes. So this area is very, very important, so we try to keep it as flat as possible. And then now the block of the shoe is another area.
This is something that we call a Vamp.
Okay, at the factory we differentiate the Vamp from the block itself. The block itself, what we refer to, and again somebody else may call it a different name, but for our purposes the block is the actual hard part where the paste has been built in to give you the support. The Vamp itself is what we call the material that actually surrounds the whole block of the shoe. And this is where the drawstring casing comes out. Of course, you tie your shoes to make it fit a little bit better and a little bit more snug. But the block is really along with the insole and the platform, is what the maker defines in the shoe. And it can be a little bit more tapered for people with more tapered feet, or it could be more square for people who have very even length toes and that are more square and broad.
And does that change with who's making the shoe?
Yes.
Like this maker is a V, who I love, and so different makers will change little things in a shoe.
Exactly, and this is precisely what the maker does, what they're responsible for. With other shoes like the Veronese and Studios, they're a lot more consistent, and there's pretty much just the one shape that you have.
I have pieces of a shoe here that I'd like to... This is how we start, I guess, with a pointe shoe?
Yes, well, this is what it looks like before the cobbler gets to it and puts all the work and magic into the shoe, but this is all the components. Now this is the sole, and this is the inside of the sole with the cardboard, again with the spine to give you the support on that.
This doesn't look like very much.
No, it isn't, and this is actually the finishing touches of a shoe, and this is the drawstring casing that will hold the drawstring that you pull.
And this doesn't look very strong to me. It doesn't look like it could support too much.
No, it isn't. But believe it or not, this is what actually goes into the block and tip of the shoe. This is the thick paper and burlap, and of course what's missing here is our secret ingredient, which is the secret paste. And when all of this is built in together, it will give it the strength, and it dries. But as you see, all these cardboards have just paper and all that, which is all very susceptible to moisture. So it's very important for dancers to keep their shoes dry so that they'll last as long as possible.
Now this doesn't so much look like a pointe shoe either.
This is the outer casing. This is the satin that we have yards and yards of at the factory. That's our trademark Freed Pink. And all those layers that I just showed you with the block and all that will be built into these along with the paste. And when it hardens, it gives us the shoe.
And last but not least,
this is very simply our sock lining, and again there is our ballerina, the trademark, very, very old.
She's very important to me because this is where I break my shoes.
Ah, yes, a lot of people use that as a point of reference, and as long as the side seam on the shoe as well. But yes, this is just to make the shoes look pretty and cover the sole, but a lot of dancers will rip them right out.
Now, I don't see any wood or metal or anything else in that shoe.
Believe it or not, I get asked that a lot. You know, they think, general public who has never done pointe before, they will think that, oh wow, they're standing on their tips of their toes, so there must be something like wood or steel that's holding them up. And as you know, nothing of the kind. It's just the dancer, the muscles, the training, and the sweat, and all that creates the magic on stage.
Well, thank you very much for helping us out today, Vamp.
My pleasure.
Over the years, I've discovered that there are certain adjustments that a ballet dancer can make to her pointe shoes. The First thing I'd like